So we are really truly going to do the first drive of this 300 here, and I am excited to say the least. We are going to take it home and put it in the garage, and then we'll bring it back tomorrow. But the roads are dry, it's not snowing or raining out, and it looks like it's clear to go. So I'm pretty excited here to, take the car out and actually enjoy driving it. So we will get her started up here, and then we will get her moving. Can't wait. We're actually going to start her up right now. Wow. That Hemi is sweet. That Hemi is sweet. Woo! Here we go. All right. We want to make sure we don't get these floor mats too dirty. And let me tell you, I almost wanted to buy different floor mats. So we are in the Hemi Chrysler 300. We're going to see here. Got the tuner on, although this is very modestly tuned. I want to make sure we don't hit anything here. And we are away in the 300. There we go. There is nobody at my business. How nice. So, we are in an American classic here, the Chrysler 300 SRT8. Stock form is 425 horsepower and 420 foot-pound torque. And you can tell it's actually nice and quiet here as we're just moving along. Man, I feel like I'm truly a gangster in this vehicle. And if this had tinted windows, which it will soon, and it's black on black, I feel pretty good. So here we go. Oh yes. Yes indeed. This is a proper, and when I say proper, I mean proper highway cruiser. I am in SRT bolstered seats, as seen there, on 20-inch 255 45/20 tires, of course on the rear, 245 on the front, with just about 450 horsepower and 450 foot-pound torque. And when I mean sporty comfort, this is it. And when I mean proper, this is proper. Wow. I just, I don't know how these cars have depreciated like they have, but owning this SRT8 almost makes you want to own another one. And here we go. We have a corner here. We need to take it around. Ooh, something just flew up and hit me. Oh, yes. Proper indeed. This is definitely a car to be speedy in. You can definitely pick up a lot of speeding tickets in this, but surprisingly, and I do say this and I do mean it, surprisingly, it handled the corners pretty dang well. And like I said, the car sits on 255s on the rear and 245s on the front, so they are staggered. But it for weighing 4,400 and so odd pounds, it's very composed around the corners, and that could be due to the Bilstein dampening shocks, and that could be due to the SRT modifications on the vehicle. This is mainly stock, besides a cold air intake and a just this slightly modified tuner that adds, I believe, 10 to 15 horsepower, so not a ton. But with that being said, this isn't as sporty as my E550, my 2011 E550 that I sold to get this. Although it reminds me a lot of that Genesis that I had, that Hyundai Genesis 5.0 R-Spec. It reminds me a ton of that, except the transmission in this is a lot better than that. That was the worst transmission, but it's really, there's not a lot. There is a little bit of body roll, but it's very similar to that Genesis. And truth be told, I liked that Genesis, and I liked how it drove. And I love how this car drives. The Mercedes was really good, don't get me wrong, but even in comfort, the problem with that car in comfort was that when you hit a bump, it almost felt like you were on a boat. It was like you were riding a wave. On this, and then in sport, it was too harsh. It was truly too harsh. But in this car, it kind of fits somewhere in the middle, and that's what I was looking for, truly. And that's what I have seemed to found here in this 300. And I don't plan on driving this a ton. You know, the tarmac isn't very good right now. But I do have to say, it is damn comfortable, and these seats help. And I'm a very short guy. We gotta slow down here for the dust. Oh yes, can't go too fast over that. We don't want to get this clean car dirty. Anyway, I'm a short guy. I have plenty of room in this. I'm sure I would have enough room in a Crossfire SRT6, but if you're a large man looking for a large car, this is definitely the car for you. I wouldn't see why anybody would really have any sort, unless you're like 7 feet tall. I know people who are 6'6" and have owned this car, and they fit in it just fine. So the steering is heavy. I like that. I like it a lot. And when you push it down, fuck, I'm gonna get pulled over. And there we go. We had the cop behind us with the phone out, and you could see how fast I was going there. Whew. I'm surprised I didn't get pulled over. I can't believe that. Well, we took a turn down a side road here, and we didn't get pulled over. Anyway, this is the problem about living in rural America. You never know when there's going to be a cop. You'd almost be better off just living in the city, to tell you the truth. But what we're going to do is actually just turn around up here, and we're going to get back to the review. Boy, that was almost a pulled over scenario there. Wow. So much for a review of the 300. I promise you I will do a proper review, but now we have to keep going up to the intersection here, and then we can go back home. Talk about a close call. Holy smokes. We'll rejoin once we get back to the main road here. So we're still driving down the back road here, and actually one thing I wanted to touch on before the police caught up to me, and he was going to pull me over until he saw my temporary plate. Use off the record for any of your tickets, traffic tickets that you have to fight. Definitely use off the record. But I do have to say, this is one of the more composed rides on a back road that I have been on. You know, it's a great car that basically uses sport and comfort to its advantage, really. And I'm soaking up, whether it's the amazing seat that I'm on right now or it's this suspension. I'm soaking up the bumps like no other, and I feel really safe doing it. So I do have to say I'm fairly impressed with the 300 right now, especially something that's 16 years old. Gosh, I can't believe it. for this year, I would have to say this would be one of the more composed rides back in 2007, or this era when it came out, I guess, 06, 05. Fairly impressed with it. And I would rip it again, but I've got temporary plates on it still. I just don't want to, but it goes. So one thing about this SRT, back in the day, I think it did 0 to 60 in like 4.6, 4.4. But one thing here now, and this is one thing I do have to say about the Durango. I mean, you guys know I'm a Chrysler, basically, fanboy. I love their products. The Durango is a slow, fast car. And by that, I mean, it's got the 5.7 liter Hemi. And to tell you the truth, that vehicle is a joy to drive because you can get it high in the rev range. It's geared really well. You can get it high in the rev range, and you can rev it out and not be speeding. And that's one reason why I have to say I like it a lot. This car, from what I've noticed right away, it's fast. This is a properly fast, proper vehicle. So you really have to be careful. You're doing 0 to illegal speeds basically in a couple, less than 10 seconds before your reaction time even comes to even look at the speedometer. So you really have to be careful. You can be doing 80 in a 55 and lose your license just like that. And like basically what happened to me there. I'm lucky his radar wasn't on, or maybe he just felt bad for me. I thought my fucking car was really cool and he didn't pull me over. But holy, I didn't have that floored, and that was just revving out in the rev range. And it's pretty fun. But that's one thing I do like about the 5.7 Hemi. Whether it's in a Charger or a 300, especially the new Chargers, you can really rev that vehicle out, and you can have some fun with it, and you're not going illegal speeds as fast as you would be with either the 6.1 or that 6.4 Hemi in a Charger, Challenger, Scat Pack, or in the SRT. And truly, if you're a collector of cars, it would be pertinent to own that. But if you are looking for that single car, you may want to just look for a 5.7 Hemi. There's plenty enough power in those. And one thing these cars are good for is getting pulled over. SRT speeders receive tickets. But going more in depth here, the ride is great. I love the ride. You guys know I've owned quite a few cars. I wish I could have got more reviews of my previous cars, but I never did. But this tuner really has good shift points on it. Oh man, the torque here is just effortless. Just effortless. Oh, I can't get enough of it. It's properly fast. I'm really hoping I didn't run over this Amish crap before. That would have sucked. It looks pretty fresh. So we're going to turn again, but we're not sure where that cop is, so we're just going to take it a little slow here, just in case. It's just got so much, just the raw, visceral noise of the vehicle is fantastic. And we're going to set the cruise at about 58 miles per hour here. And, we're gonna go. But talk about proper. Wow. I mean, this back in the day is a proper sports car. And say what you want about, and we all know this, and it's still true today. A lot of people rip on Chrysler products because of the poor build quality. The interior quality here isn't great, and you can rip on that in these older models too, and that is the case. But when you're buying a car like this, and this is a very important point, when you're buying a car like this or an older vehicle, with these hard plastics, you are buying the vehicle for the experience. You're not buying it for the niceties. You're buying it for the experience. And that's exactly what you're buying it for. And that's why I bought this. I mean, I had the Mercedes-Benz, which was properly equipped with all the safety and the luxury features. And it, let me tell you, it was fantastic. I mean, that was one of the nicer cars I've been in for comfort. But this is an experience like no other. And horsepower and torque are roughly the same. Speed is the same. But, oh my gosh, I just have to say I just am deeply in love with this vehicle. This is like the long-lost soulmate that you've been looking for 20 years. And you finally found it, and that's exactly what it is. I was 10 years old when this car came out. It's basically been a dream car since I was in middle school, and my father has had an affliction of love for these 300s as well, and to be able to go down and pick it up and drive it back with him was fantastic. But I mean, there's really no other way to, I mean, go about this. It's just a proper vehicle. And there's going to be more videos to come here. Definitely an interior video and features video, but this is just kind of my first impression video with the 300. And I almost got pulled over, which will make a very funny video. But yeah, pretty cool. Speeders receive tickets. SRT. Wish there was an SRT logo right there, but this is awesome. I'm in love. Any of you folks out there looking for a late model SRT vehicle, please, Charger, Challenger, anything pre-2010 with the 6.1, Charger, Challenger, Magnum, 300 being the best deal. The unmolested, the best cars for unmolested power, basically. You know, Chargers get a lot of mods on them, but these 300s don't. And this is definitely the car for you. I mean, what a rare car. I'm driving a car that I've rarely seen on the road before, so I do have to say I'm just... I'm in love. Fuck, listen to that. Hemi. The Hemi. I got a Hemi. That's right. Woo! I'm loving it. Loving the Hemi.